Hang on, Mackenzie. For a minute. So, yeah, that's a shadow right there. I got something that's something right there. It's just a shadow. It does look kind of goofy. I was looking at that thinking, what is that? Then I looked around. I was like, that's a shadow. I was like, I never saw that before. It kind of confused me, but yeah, that's what that is. That's a shadow. But yeah, I'm gonna do these verses here. Verses. Let me see here. 25 through for 30 25 through 34. They're about anxiety. Like I said, I mean, I was praying and I felt this is what God wanted me to talk to you about for some reason. I don't know. Maybe you have a problem with anxiety. If you do, you know what? At 16 years old, um, anxiety is never a good thing, but at 16 years old, well, a lot of people are anxious at all ages. To tell you the truth, it's not just a young person thing, or anyone else. It's just it happens through life, but especially in your adolescence, where you are, that could be a very confusing time for a lot of people. I mean, I went to school with this one girl, Nicole, obviously high school, and she um I didn't know her too well. I mean, I sat next to her in class. She was more, I forgot her last name. I think about that girl every once in a while. Like, it kind of crosses my mind. It's just like she was an acquaintance. We weren't, friends or anything like that. I don't know. She was just somebody who I sat next to. And, yeah, I mean, she had little scars like on her. I'm not saying that's you. I'm not saying that's you at all. But I'm saying, in your adolescence, that sometimes that stuff, it's a very confusing time. And, you know, so it affects different people different ways. I don't know you. I'm not saying you're anything like that or anything. I don't know you. Again, I don't know you. I hope you're not. You're a beautiful person, and I bet you that if I met you, um, you know, you and I would. I don't know your personality. I mean, if you're getting these videos, I'm pretty sure. I mean, away from these videos, obviously during these videos, I mean, like I said before, these videos could be kind of awkward for me sometimes because I don't really know you, so I don't really know how to gauge the situation. So sometimes when I do these videos, I just like, I don't know, I I stumble upon my words because I just like, I don't want to I don't, maybe I should loosen up a little bit. I guess I don't have to be so tight about everything, but at the same time, I'm talking to somebody who's of significance to me. I'm talking to my daughter, and you know, so I don't, and I know that sometimes I have the tendency to come across, in ways that I don't, and I am like that with other people too. I get that a lot where I come across one way and I'm like, whoa, really? I came across that way. And yeah, it's basically happened to me my whole life. I am a very misunderstood person, and I could see where people would get would I could see the confusion. People aren't wrong for, but it's just like I don't know what it is. I'm a lot of times I come across in ways I don't mean to, so it is what it is. So I don't really know how to gauge you. Especially in these videos, they could be like I don't know, little. I mean, I like doing them. I really, really do. Um, but until I see you face to face, likewise, until you see, I mean, more way. I mean, I don't know anything about you. I mean, nothing. I mean, especially if you're seeing these videos, you know my voice. You see me in action. You see, So I mean, you know pretty much something about me. At least you know my voice and all that stuff. And I know absolutely zero, zero, zero about you. So, I mean, it is what it is. So so sometimes these videos could be a little, you know. So sometimes I go this way and that way, and you know, I don't really know what to say and how to say. I don't. I'm not trying to walk on eggshells and be perfect about everything, but at the same time, I don't want to you know, it helps to it would help me a lot to get to, to know your personality. But um I mean, I try to be as normal as possible. I don't want to make it awkward for you or me either, but it's just the situation could be a little, you know, the situation is a little goofy, so it's like, I don't know. I'm just kind of, you know, sometimes it gets these videos can get kind of confusing for me, a little bit, but I do try, and so, but like I said, I'm going to do 25. Let's see here, Mackenzie. 25 through 34. This is anxiety. And like I said, I was praying, and I felt that this is something that you wanted me to do, or God wanted me to do. Um, so I'm gonna do that, and I'm probably not gonna get through it all today. I'm probably gonna take it up to the hour and a half mark, and if and when that probably happens, it's going to be like 12:30 almost. So at that point, I ain't uploading these tonight. That's crazy. I'm gonna have to upload them sometime tomorrow, probably in the evening, sometime, kind of like I, did the ones yesterday. So I'll do that. Tomorrow, obviously, but I will spend as much time, or maybe I won't spend as much time as I think. But I think this will probably be a lengthy video because there are a few verses here, 9 of them, and you know how I am. I tend to kind of go off into certain things when I do these videos. Um, so I didn't really get a chance to really study these and break them down, but I'm going to, you know, go through them as efficient, as efficiently as I can. I mean, they're pretty much in plain English anyways, but I mean, I'm just basically like, kind of doing it, and see what happens, see where it goes. But I was aware of. Hang on, I lost my page. But I definitely was aware of the whole Matthew thing. So that's kind of why I'm doing this. Because during prayer, I felt kind of led to, you know, to do this with you. And by led, obviously, I don't mean to be like stupid. I just like a lot. When you say led, a lot of people don't really know what that means. It just means I feel like this is what I am supposed to do, kind of sort of thing. Um, let's see. See here, Matthew 6. See here for a minute. Is it still going? All right. See, all right. Matthew, all right, we're gonna start on Matthew 25, verse 25. So I tell you, don't worry about everyday life, whether you have enough food, drink, and clothes. Doesn't life consist of more than food and clothing? So obviously that's pretty much self-explanatory. I'm gonna go in here, Mackenzie. Hang on. You can stay in here if you want. Come on in here. Hang out. I was just talking to the cat real quick. The cat's weird. It's a very strange cat. I'm not a big cat person. Like I was telling you before, I had this cat Smokey that, I mean, my favorite animal I've ever had in my life. It used to sit right on my shoulder. Um, but I'm not really a cat person too much. I mean, I like dogs. I'm pretty much a dog person. I like dogs because you could take dogs for a walk. I mean, you could play fetch. I mean, you could do so much with dogs. Cats just basically walk around and sleep all day. You know, I mean, they're fine. It's not that I don't like them. It's just I prefer dogs because you could do so much with dogs. I mean, you could train a dog. You know, cats, not really. Outside of litter training them, really, I mean, what can you do? They just sit on your lap, and that's basically all they do. So yeah, I'm more of a dog person. Hey. Okay. Uh, like I said, verse 25, my reading is going to be kind of goofy because if you see how see how small that is, that's small writing, and I got some crazy, you know, I got the life or that light in there is, or in this room is kind of dim, so like the lighting mixed with the, you know, the size of these words, it's just like these words are microscopic, so I'm just trying to, you know, I'm doing this in horrible lighting, so it's just like, you know, when I read this, it's gonna kind of come out a little weird. um you know, I promise you I'm not slow. I know sometimes when I read this stuff, I'm just like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Just kind of like, I don't know, I'm kind of stumbling upon my words, and it just comes out like I'm hooked on phonics, man. Not at all. You know, I'm just, the words are real small, and it could be hard for me. Like, I'm trying to hold the phone and hold this big book at the same time, and I'm in this room with horrible lighting, and it's just crazy. So I'm just kind of, I'm kind of trying to read this here. But like sometimes I just kind of, you know, I read like I'm real, but no, I'm definitely not hooked on phonics. Definitely not. I mean, hey, people that have reading problems. I mean, I'm not making fun of those people. I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know. That was kind of wrong thing to say. Go, get out of here. Whatever, man. All right. But yeah, I mean, I had this girl. One of my friends. What was her name? Karima. She was from Philadelphia. I used to work with her, in downtown. Not the job downtown. Not the one. A different one. Like this was a few years ago. I used to work downtown, and she was my friend Karima. She's from Philadelphia. She's obviously a black chick. You know, she had a reading problem. She was cool. She was a cool person, but she had a reading problem. And she used to have me read stuff for her. Um, you know, she was a real cool chick. You know, after I stopped working there, I just never saw her anymore. So whatever, it was just one of those things. Um, but yeah, I mean, she was definitely a cool person. Um, yep, definitely. Let's see here with this. Yeah, sometimes when you meet people, you have fun with them, but you know, kind of like when those times are over, you look back like a couple of years later, you look back and you're just like, man, those times, they were really fun times, But like, during during the midst, like the midst of it, you just don't really appreciate what you have until it's like, gone, sort of thing, I mean, but yeah, I mean, she was all right. She was a goofy chick, man. Like I had some fun with her. She was a cool chick. I mean, when I first met her, I thought she had an attitude problem. Um, but so I just basically kind of like stayed away from her. Um, but I mean, we worked together, in the same building, in the same kind of like department, so we were like always together. So eventually, we kind of just like, I don't know, we became friends, and she turned out to be a really cool chick. Um, she was a little high strung, but she was all right though, you know. Um, so I don't even know where she is now. She's probably back in Philly, I would assume. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe she's still here. I doubt it though. She was talking about going back to Philly, so I guess that's where she is. I don't know. Who knows where she is? I haven't seen her in so long. But yeah, I mean that's one person that You know, so there's definitely nothing wrong with I'm definitely not making fun of people.